Yo, this is Northern Scrogger. I've been organically blunt. Now it's your turn.
What up, Cannabis Nation? T-Dog the Artist here. I just heard the news Organically Blunt went 500 subscribers on YouTube. Check it out. Oh, hell yes.
This is Jeremy Silva, and I've been Organically Blunt. And now it's your turn.
This is Chad Westport, and I've been Organically Blunt. And now it's your turn.
Dude Grows here. I've been Organically Blunt. Now it's your turn.
Hey, this is Steve from Potent Ponics. I've been Organically Blunt. Now it's your turn. Congratulations on 500 subs.
Hey, this is Red Setter Farm. I've been on Organically Blunt, and now it's your turn.
What's up, folks? It's Nat from Humboldt Seed Company, and I got Organically Blunt. Now it's your turn.
This is Jay Blaze, and I want to appreciate everybody that had the kind words this evening, and thank you all for joining us. And as always, let's get organically blunt, because without you and I, there's no community. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Organically Blunt. We had some complications this evening, and I want to apologize for being late, first off, and for second off. Richard, the Rastarian farmer from Jamaica, could not figure out the software for the life of us. I tried everything to get through to him to get it to figure it out, and cultural differences and maybe even software differences. I don't know, because I can't see his screen. He was not able to give permission for the camera and the microphone to be used on his cell phone, so he couldn't get in. And his connection was very weak and not stable. So I apologize for the inconvenience that was caused this evening. We're still going to hit a seed giveaway here because I have some news, and we'll talk a little bit of grow talk, and we'll just shoot the shit tonight. And I apologize for the inconvenience. Anybody wants to hang out, you're more than welcome to. If you want to out the door, now's the time, because I don't know how long I'll be here, being that I don't have a guest tonight. So if you guys want to talk, shoot the shit, I'm here for a little bit. What is up, badass? What is up, dead folk? Welcome to the show. Like I said, you know, that is the problem with doing live shows. This stuff is not pre-recorded. It is raw. It is uncut, and it is unedited. I do it right live. So everything, you know, everything comes right now. You know, mistakes are made. Things happen. Things come up. Things don't work. We lose guests, and sometimes we gain guests, you know, and tonight we just so happen to not necessarily lose one. We just have to reschedule because, well, things didn't work out in the favor of the way we wanted it to. And I apologize for that, y'all. You know, I wish I had more control. I wish these people in other countries could understand some of the things that I'm saying and how the software works, because it was very simple. I mean, all he had to do was click the link, type in a screen name, give it permission for the microphone and the camera, and he was in. I mean, I did it off my cell phone just to show him and screenshotted the whole process, and he still couldn't figure it out. It was a 1 hour difference. He's 1 hour behind us in Jamaica, believe it or not, compared to what it is here, at least in Michigan. You know, I don't know where you're calling in from or whatever, dead folk, but yeah, he was 1 hour behind of me. So I'm Eastern Standard Time, and he was 1 hour behind me. So whatever time zone he is in, I'm not too sure. I didn't look, to be honest, but it did not work out in our favor this evening, and I feel terrible about that. You know, I really do. I was prepared. I was ready to ask questions that I had already planned in my head, you know, because there's no scripts. But, you know, I had some good questions, and it didn't work out that way. And it kind of upsets me, you know, it really does, because I wanted to have that conversation tonight. I wanted to see what the cultural differences is. I wanted to know how they grew the plants over there and how he's done it for the 30 years of his experience. But we will get it rescheduled. We'll get his story told, just like everybody else, you know. For some reason, these people, you know, they don't, in these other countries, they must not have the same type of software as we do in, like, United States and Canada, even Canada. I mean, because I had a guest come on in the past from Canada, and he had an iPhone. I don't know if it's an iPhone issue. I don't know if maybe this gentleman had an iPhone, but it just, they couldn't figure it out for the life of them. But that's the only two guests I've ever really had problems with, where they couldn't figure it out. It's all good, Paradox. By the way, you should be getting some packages soon if you didn't already. I got some stuff out to you, so hopefully you'll be getting that soon. And for everybody else out there that watches on the regular, I'm getting more packages out of the winners from the 500 giveaway next week. So I got a lot of them out this past week, and Humboldt sent me a package out. I'm waiting on that to arrive so I can get the packs out to you guys. So it's kind of a waiting game there. Yeah, definitely. A lot of people have been excited with what they've received so far, and I can't complain. Like I said, yeah, shit does happen. It was a good idea. Maybe we can get it down the line. Same thing with Green Bodie. But the good thing about Green Bodie, I know you guys were looking forward to that too. Green Bodie is going to be on Thursday. We pretty much got it locked in. I'm just waiting for 100% confirmation, but he's 2 hours behind me. So he'll be getting on at 7 a.m. and we'll be on at 9 a.m. So the people that can't reach the live show, you can always watch the recap. But we will definitely have Green Bodie coming on, and he's a Buddhist grower. He comes from the jungle, and he started growing in the jungle back in 2006. So now he's in Oregon. So it's pretty cool. We're gonna hear some cool stories, and Green Bodie is definitely, you got to check out Green Bodie seeds if you guys haven't yet. Green Bodie horticulture, Green Bodie genetics, Green Bodie seeds, however you want to word it. Check them out, type them out on Instagram, Google, tell them we sent you. Check it out. You can get them through Seedsman now. You can use our discount code organically blunt 10. Sorry. Organically blunt 10 over at seedsman.com, and over there you can get them Green Bodie packs. I will admit they are a little pricey, but you're paying for rarity, just like an exotic there. I mean, let's be honest, this guy's put a lot of time into this and crafted his craft to make an excellent product. I mean, I've read some reviews and I've heard some things through the grapevine that this is one genetics breeder you do not want to sleep on this year, because he's going to be making waves. So yes, definitely Green Bodie is going to be the Green Bodie goodness and the goddess, or God, or however you want to put it. He's a god in my opinion. I mean, the guy knows stuff we don't even know about these plants yet, and he's doing some magic things. I mean, it's impressive, definitely. Like I said, I feel bad. We got a couple people in chat here. I want to give away a pack of Captain Redbeard's seeds this week. I was going to do it live tonight, but I think I'm going to wait until tomorrow night. And when we got the 3 judges on, and we'll give away a pack then. Just because I think it'll be a little more entertaining, a little more fun. So bear with me, guys. I was going to do one tonight, but I think it's going to be more fun tomorrow night, especially when we have the 3 judges on. And, these judges, they travel all over and they go to cups. I think even one of them went to the one in Spain, the organic cup over there. It's insane, definitely. Bruce Banner's is one of my favorites. Bruce Banner's good, if you got some of that. Gary Payton, them are all great strains. Sofem is a great genetic to grow indoors. I got it going right now. You guys wait until I drop this week 3 footage. You're going to be shocked how much these things exploded. I promise you. I'm dealing with high heat issues in the tent tonight. Let me see what we're sitting at. I got the door cracked open just because I couldn't get the heat out of the damn thing. I'm actually thinking about setting up some ducting, like a door hose air conditioner, so I can pull cold air from outside and exhaust it outside. But the thing I'm worried about, the exhausting, I got to get a carbon filter again, because mine got clogged up because I made a mistake and used tap water in my humidifier. Well, it's full of calcium. Calcium deposits go airborne. They have to settle somewhere. Well, when your exhaust fan is pulling it out constantly, it pulls that right to the filter and it clogs it. And then pretty soon, well, your filter's no good. And that's where I'm sitting right now. I got to buy a new filter, and, you know, we'll get that going. Definitely, you know. Yeah, week 2 was, they were exploded, and then I cracked it open just tonight, and I'm like, holy shit. That's all I'm going to say. Holy shit. You guys will see. I got some stuff I want to do on Sunday, something new, a new product I want to play with that I'm going to put into that next week 3. It's going to be cool. I mean, you guys are going to want to pick one of these up once you see it, because it's going to open your eyes to a lot of things, and especially when it comes to soil and what it's missing. Let's just put it that way. And it's a great little product, and it connects through your phone. I'll show you guys in the video. You're going to like it. I promise you. But you definitely, Sofem Genetics, you know, I want to read that back there. So I'm starting to learn and understand more about breeding, and seems the environment it used to has a lot to do with how well it expresses itself. Definitely, you know, when it comes to environments and getting the right thing dialed in, you know, I go over to a website personally, and I'm not affiliated with them. I've been trying to get them affiliated with us, and communication always seems to fall apart somewhere along the line, and then we reconnect. And that's POTS Labs, like POTS, like you got a heart POTS. I can't pronounce it that well because of my accent. I apologize. It's just how I talk. But long story short, yeah, POTS Labs, you go over to their website and you look up at the VPT chart. You go into the VPT chart and you see where your atmosphere is sitting at when you're running. What temp you're at. Go across, find your humidity. Dial in your humidity. Get that VPD dialed in. My auto tent, the VPD, it sits right around 0.9 constantly. That's perfect. You want to be right around 0.9 to 1.1, but it depends on temperature and humidity. And that's vapor pressure deficit. And what that allows is your plant's stomata to open up so it can take in the moisture and the nutrients it needs at maximum, so it can grow to its vigorous full potential. I'm not the most educated on this, but this is what I've learned so far. And I want to continue to re-educate it to you guys, you know, as I go. Definitely. You know, I have not tried the cherry truffle Chem 91, but I have tried the Chem Dog, the original Chem Dog. And I can tell you that was amazing. Yeah. And the thing is I'm running a high CFM. So I got a high CFM. I actually got 2 high CFM kits in the tent, so it doesn't collapse upon itself. And just before I went live, well, let's just say I got to flip all the brackets around because I got them facing so that I can pop it off when I want to remove the bars to go in the tent, like to open the door. I have one right across the door, so the door doesn't get sucked in against the fan. That's how much pressure I'm running. But long story short, I need to flip all the brackets around because that pressure, all it's doing is popping them off like a pop top. And then they're falling in the tent. So I got to, when we get off here tonight, I'm going to go in there and flip them around. So that way, when the pressure pushes against the bars, it doesn't pop the clips off the corners. VPD actually affects everything that grows. I mean, if you think about it, everything. It's kind of like photosynthesis. I mean, it's everything, you know, literally. Trichomes too, you know. Everything has trichomes, you know. I can't get into VPD unless I did 100% dug into the research. I'm not educated enough to make claims or anything like that. I just follow what I'm learned and relearn it each week. But maybe we should do an episode on VPD. I've touched on it on the past, but maybe I should do my research and then I should re-educate. You know, I don't know a whole lot on it, but I would love to get someone like POTS Labs in here to talk about it more, you know, or somebody. Yeah, the high CFM kits are a lifesaver. They are not very expensive, believe it or not. But if you don't want to go with the brands, the Tent or Gorilla, I mean, they're metal, they're nice, they work great, they're strong. They're, you could always go with, I got a friend on Etsy. that made some brackets for my AC Infinity fans. I forget the name, but his name's Mark, but I forget the name of his company. And excuse me, sorry. Long story short, he makes all kinds of brackets and low stress training clips. And he does a lot of 3D printing, and he printed them for all size tents. You take them, you buy the corner things that pop right on the bar, the brackets, and then you just go to like Menards, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever you have local, and you get that same diameter as your tent bars, but in a PVC pipe, and you can put it in there and it'll do the same thing, essentially. See, the problem with autos is, you got to start out in, like I tell everybody, you got to start out in your final container. If you're not going to do that, you got to be quick on it. And when I say quick, on autoflower, the ruderalis, because it was started up in Alaska, essentially, they say. And you know how they got like 30 days a night, basically, like the scary movie. It's a real thing. They have 30 days a night, and it's crazy. And I think they do the same thing with the daylight. I don't know. Anyway, I've never been there, but long story short, they needed something that would flower short because of the short days. And long story short, when them roots hit the edge of your pot or your cup or your solo or the bottom, so whenever it hits and it stops, like hitting a wall, it tells that thing, okay, it's done growing. It's time to go into flower. And it could be that small and go into flower. I've seen it. And I'm telling you, you want to start in the final, and the bigger, the better. And this is just being honest with you. I started out with 3 gallon. I went from 3 gallon to 5 gallon to 7 gallon. I am now in 10 gallon for most of my plants. I'm running in, I think, the 5 or the 7 right now for the autos I got in the auto 2x4 tent. And that is a Gorilla Grow tent 2x4. I'm using the AC Infinity self-watering basis, so that makes it nice because I'm on the road. So I only have to water about twice a week. I like to have the dry back. I'm feeding about twice a week usually, but because of the soil I'm using, I don't have to feed. I'm using living soil from Sohium versus my Builder soil mix that we made up for the episode 1. For the whole soil series, I put that in there and side by side. They speak for themselves. I will definitely tell that. I'm not saying they're both good, but I can definitely tell you what one definitely is more vigorous. And we posted some pictures up on Instagram. If you want to see more, I can put up more. If you guys ever want to see anything, don't hesitate to ask. If you have questions or you want to learn something, shoot it in the comment section below. We would love to get more ideas for future episodes, because I am only one person and I can only scratch my brain enough to think of different things without looking through and doing research and picking what I call acorns off of different trees and putting them in my basket like a squirrel to figure out what ones I want to do. Definitely some spent mushroom substate. Yes, that is great too. Jeremy's a great guy. I'm going to be doing a lot with him. I've got my outdoors popped. I had one failed whole pack from Seedsman. It's my first failed pack I've ever had from them. We work with Seedsman, and we tried everything to germinate them, and they would not germinate. And that was the black sugar. I tried everything to get these things to germinate. We tried multiple methods. They would not germ. So I think it was an old pack or a dead pack that just wasn't a good bunch. But they're going to get me taken care of. They always do. They're actually going to be sending out a big shipment. And then we're going to start doing weekly giveaways of seeds with all our partners in rotation. And when I say that, I mean each week you're going to be able to get a different breeder's genetics. And we're only going to do it once a week on one of the shows. Usually it'll be on the interview show towards it. We'll have it at the end. And what it will do is we will call it Seeds of Bounty. And Seeds of Bounty means just like being a bounty hunter. You're out to get that bounty. You guys will all drop a keyword in the chat just like we did the 500 giveaway. and you guys will get a pack. I won't know what it is. You won't know what it is until it gets to your door. It is breeder selected. I left it that way because you know what? Lets them push what they want to push to you. And if they want to give you a little something special, that's on them, you know, but it gives them a chance to grow. It gives you guys a chance to grow, essentially, like really grow, you know, and it gives us a chance to kind of get back to the community as a whole. So that's what we're doing, you know. More breeder talk. We can get into that. I'll reach out to some breeders. I got a couple ideas of some places I'm going to start reaching out to, you know. I can't even pronounce it. I want to say the name and I know I'm going to butcher it. Don't shoot me, guys, if you're listening. Mephisto Seeds just sent me out a little package of their outdoor strain series. They're Michigan bred, and we're gonna put them to the test. I think I'm gonna run 4 of them out in the outdoor season. I don't know what ones they're sending me, but I've got some cool things popped for the outdoor. You know, I've got the sour glue from Atlas Seeds. I've got Strain Hunters. I've got the Clementine lemon from Strain Hunters. I've got trying to think, the OG badass OG cheese from Seedsman going. I've got I can't even think of them all. I got a bunch of varieties. Let's just put it that way. And we're gonna be going with a friend of mine that has a soil company here that also is very similar to Builder Soil. So if you guys are looking something more affordable, nothing taken away from Jeremy, but if you're looking for something local or more affordable on the shipping from out of Michigan, Country Roots Ltd. Check them out on Facebook. Tell them Organically Blunt sent you because he will hook you up. He's got great prices, indoor, outdoor mix, garden mixes, dry amendments, earthworm castings, you name it. And we're going to be putting them into our holes. You know, I'm partnering up with a friend of mine's farm. I don't know what he wants to call the farm yet, so I can't release any names yet because this is his second season growing, but he wanted a little bit of guidance. He wanted to grow some Mendo dope plants, you know, some big boys. And we're going to do that, and we're going to have some fun, and I'm going to bring back some of my outdoor grow tactics that I used to know, and like that. I want to definitely catch up on some chat here because I'm just shooting the shit hanging out with you guys here. See here, more breeder talk. Nailed it. Yeah, I definitely hope I did nail their name because I don't want them pissed. And sour glue. Yeah, we got, let me see here. I couldn't even tell you off the top. I would have to, I'm going to jump in my gallery on my phone while I'm talking to you guys. I'm just shooting the shit. We're having a good time here. And I'll tell you all the genetics I got lined up for outdoor here because that's the problem. I can't keep track of them all because I test so many of them. And I'm not complaining. I just, yeah. It's not that I forget them. It's just, I can't grow them all at the same time. And then when I do get them going, I'm like, okay, I got this one going for autos. I got this one's going for indoor photos. I got for the soil series. And I've got all of these for the outdoor series. And let's see here. Where you at? I take too many pictures, guys. Way too many pictures. See if I can find it. Bear with me. Do you know much about beneficial X? Yes, definitely. There's a lot of beneficial insects, and I mean, there's so many. I can touch on so many levels there. That's a very vague subject, but some of the most important ones we'll touch on right now are ladybugs. Ladybugs, you definitely want to introduce them into the garden. They eat aphids. They eat so many things, and they'll stay right there on your plant as long as they have food to eat. So they'll hang out. And that's all. That's an organic answer, you know. That's why I love using them. I've used them A lot of people use praying mantises. It's another great way of a natural IPM in a sense. And I don't like the praying. They look cool, but I'm not a bug person. I'm not. I really ain't. I don't like snakes. I don't like spiders. I know I'm a country boy who don't like rodents and insects and all that fun stuff. But long story short, so that's why I don't use them. But they're great. Probably the most beneficial thing, in my opinion, honestly, other than them two, would be nematodes. You got to get yourself some nematodes. They do amazing things for plants. I haven't used any yet, but I've seen people use them, and they're pretty damn cool. You can't really see them unless you have a microscope or something, but them things are badass the way they work, and I'm still learning more about this stuff. Like I said, I was an organic outdoor grower with my grandfather. We didn't get into all this stuff. Like, it was simple to grow the monsters, like topsoil, cow manure, some amendments, some real fish that we caught locally, some aloe, some powdered coconut, maybe some molasses, some Epsom salt. pH up and down was either vinegar or baking soda. We didn't buy the shit. Like, this was organic. Potassium water, you take potassium and you say, well, where do I get that? You take a banana peel, let it dry out. You can do it fresh too if you really want to. I mean, it's up to you. I like to let it dry out. Scrape the white out. You can do it when it's kind of mixed, half dry, half wet. Scrape it in, put it in your water. Let it sit for 24, 48 hours. Water your plants with it. It's now absorbed the potassium from the banana peel into your water. And I'm not saying it's high levels, but there's some in there. There's definitely trace potassium to the point that your plants can use it to be beneficial. It definitely, it is endless. I mean, there's the way, like Mr. Grow It and Huygen and Basement and all my friends that have the bigger shows that I learn from say, and I continue to re-educate on, is there's no wrong way to grow the plant. There's just multiple ways to grow the plant. What might be right to you might be wrong to me, but what might work for you might not work for me in my environment, because so many environments are so many different. I mean, what I could grow in my tent here might not grow across the street. Just that close, It's just how that works, It's really how it works, I didn't even roll one tonight. I don't even care. I'm all right. I'm having a good time. But no, and I can't figure out why I put that picture of the seeds. I was going to tell you guys that I was growing for outdoor. I had them right here, and then they must have slipped by me. I'm trying to find them. Okay, here they are. Yep. I had the black sugar from Seedsman, which was total dud pack, unfortunately. And I'm not speaking bad for them. It happens. Sometimes they sit in shipping, especially when they mine came from the UK. So you can imagine going through boats, sitting on boats for who knows how long with salt water, even though they're sealed, who knows? It could play factor. You never know. I am running the Humboldt Blueberry headband, or Humboldt headband. I'm a headband fan. I'm an OG guy. You can ask Casey in the chat. He found that out just talking to me after he won, and we've gotten to know each other a little bit more better. That's what I love about this community. As I connect with you guys and you win stuff, I'm able to get a chance to know you a little bit too, and hear your story and become friends. Rogue beetles are, oh yes, you got it. Green lacewing larvae. We can go on all night, Casey. You already know. I don't even have to explain. You already know. You probably know more than I do. But yeah, I appreciate you sending me some genetics, Casey, from your way. I'm always collecting, just like a stamp collector. Sometimes I hate to crack these packs open. But that's what they're made for. Some of them are a little less favoritism as others, and some of them I don't have a problem popping. Right now we got the GMO Oreos from SoFem Genetics. They are fire genetic. Like, he keeps selling out, and not necessarily selling out, but like selling out to the point that he has to restock the website or however he does it. People love it. that strain, you know. So you can, and the thing I tell everybody is, in our Facebook group, it makes it easier. And at the end, you can see all the companies we work with all the discount codes. I'm going to be continuously adding more. Like, we're going to continue to try to find the products that you guys want and need, and make sure you get them at the cheapest available price that we can get them to you guys at. And that's definitely, you know, where I'm at with things. I love to try new products. If you see a new product, anything, let me know. And you want to say, hey, I want to know how that works before I buy one. Well, we're going to kind of do that, you know. We used to have a news segment here locally called Try It Before You Buy It. And the news they would go out and they would try this shit and buy it and test it right on the news and tell you if it did what it did or if it was garbage. Well, that's what I like to do. I've been doing that since I was 16 years old, consumer reviews. And I love it. You know, I have no problem telling somebody that the product is crap if it's crap. And if you want to come on this show and be part of our community, the Organically Blunt community, and you're not willing to invest in the community so the community can try your product at least once, give one away during an episode, then I can't validate and back your product. And that's just how I am. You know, I can't vouch for something I don't try before the community gets a chance to try it. Because I'm not going to tell you guys to try something, and then you guys have tons of problems, and then I got to hear about it and tell them, no, no. We're going to make sure you guys got the best of the best. And that's what I'm about, you know. And it's about not just the big guy. Some of these best of the best come from your mom and pop, your neighbor, your breeder, your friend across the street, your best friend. You don't know. Always support local. Always. That's why I support Country Roots for my soil this year. You know, they're local. They do ship. He's working on a website. I'm going to be probably going out there doing a farm tour and episode out there live. I'm also going to be probably digging in and learning more about soil and soil biology and geology as a whole, because the owner of Country Roots is a geologist and a professor at the University of Michigan, I think it is. And, you know, he's going to educate me. I already told him I'll work for free because he needed some part-time help. And I told him I'll go work 4 hours a day, Monday through Friday, come out if I have to, and get in the dirt and learn this. And at the same time, shoot content for you guys and show you guys how to make your own soil. Now, we're not going to try to take away from him because he's got the quality amendments. You can come and get the amendments, mix up your own soil, or you can get it already mixed. It's up to your discretion. You know, the same thing as builder soil. You know, I've talked to Jeremy last week. You know, I want to get him back on. He's busy. It's a busy time of the year for a lot of us. You know, festival season's going to be kicking off here in a couple weeks. Let me look at the calendar here. I suck at dates. I apologize, guys. Come on, Betsy. Okay, so the 26th, 27th, and 28th, Big Cloud Farms. If you're not familiar, or if you're from the Midwest and local, or even if you want to travel up, come on up. We're going to have a Hetty in the Clouds event. That's what I call it, Hetty in the Clouds. I don't know if that's the name of it. They call it Hetty. It's going to be open to caregivers, free tickets, free camping, whatever. I don't know all the details, but you can head over to Big Cloud Presents, all one word, on Instagram, get all the details. I'm going to be out there most likely, you know, as long as work is working good that week and I ain't got to make up for it on the weekend. I'm planning to allocate at least coming in probably late Friday night, like I always do. I'm always fashionably late on Friday. And spending the day there Saturday and the night. And then I'm not one for hanging around on Sundays. Sorry, guys. I get up, I pack up, I hit the road, I'm gone. But you guys want to come chill, sit around the fire, hear stories, share your stories, maybe even get some of that audio put into one of the future shows. Well, come hang out. Smoke one with me, you know, camp out, have a good time, you know, we'll have fun, you know, definitely, you know, Weed Nerd for Life, definitely Mendo Dope, you know, I just talked to them too, you know, they got a lot of plans for the season. They're getting their outdoor going before they hit, you know, going on tour. I think they're going to Vegas. I think they're going If they haven't already, New Mexico's coming up. They're out there too, you know. They're good friends of mine, and they're the guys who taught me, you know, how to grow these big Mindo plants, you know, and that's my plan, is to try to grow some big Mindo trees again this season. Definitely, you know. Middleman always gets the shit from both sides. Yeah, unfortunately, I do. Same thing in my day job, you know. I'm the person who meets with the customer. So I'm not the merchant, and I'm not the company that's dispatching it. I'm the person delivering it to your door. And if the product isn't to your satisfaction, I'm the first person you get to bitch at. So that's what I tell these companies every day. And because they say, man, you make good money. I said, I don't necessarily make good money for the amount of shit I have to go through. Trust me. And just because I make good money does not mean I'm rich. You know, I make a good living, but I am 1099 self-contract, self-employed, have to pay out taxes weekly that equal more than most people's paychecks just to do what I do as a living, you know. And that's not boasting. That's me, the reality, you know. And I honestly, some weeks I do live paycheck to paycheck, and you know, I pay for the shipping to you guys' door out of my pocket, you know. And I try to be a man of my word, as some of the other fans have found out. You know, they complained they didn't get nothing 3 days after the contest. I won't say any names, but I will let it be known, you know. And they thought I was, they straight up thought I was a joke. They basically tried calling me out through email after they won off the 500. And, you know, I had to prove them wrong. I did. And I got it out to them. I have no problem. But, you know, that, yeah, I pay for everything myself. I make no profit off this. I take no take. You know, the affiliate codes make enough for us to expand equipment, maybe some other small things, but mostly it goes right back into the show for equipment or merch. You know, we had to pay to get the embroidery set, like a proof for hats and shirts. We had to pay for designing. We had to pay for merch itself. We had to pay for microphones and lighting and backdrops and mixers and all that. It doesn't come cheap. It really doesn't. And, you know, pretty soon you're a couple thousand in before you know it, and you didn't even realize it. And you ain't even got nothing near to the other big shows have, like moving cameras and wireless and 4K and all that crazy shit. You know, I don't have all that. I'm very basic, old school. If you've seen it, you'd be like, well, it looks nice and it looks up to date. But no, it's dated. It is dated. Yeah. I try to provide back for the community, like just like the shirts that you guys are getting have on the back some of the OG smokers that I've interviewed and came across that have supported the show since day one, or since they've been on, you know. And it says right on the back of these shirts, you know, there's no community without you and I. And there's not, you know, without you and me, there's nothing, you know. So we all come together. That's why I continue to give back to you guys, you know. You know, that's the thing, you know. And if you're here for shiny shit, so be it. And if you're not, you're not, you know. I honestly could care less, you know. I mean, but I do care, but I'm not here to weigh on it. Just like, you know, the gentleman that reached out to me, because on Wednesday, when we had the contest on Saturday night, you know, unless I overnighted it to you, there was no way you would have even got it anyway if I did ship it out first thing Monday morning. I mean, by Wednesday. And, you know, he wasn't even a subscriber until after I busted him out. And then, you know, it's like, okay, support, man. Like, cool, you won. I sent it out to you. I'm a man of my word. But if you're not going to support me and you're going to talk crap and not believe that I'm legit, well, you're not going to win a contest again, in my take, even if your name does pop up. I hate to put it that way, but I'm not that way. I gave the guy a second chance, and he apologized, but he also, you know, he made up excuses. And maybe they're validated, but at the same point, I'm not here to hear your story, dude. You want something for free. I'm sorry I didn't get it out to you overnight, but it's coming, and I promise you will get it, and I will provide you with the tracking number. And even a photo of the tracking number, legit right from the parking lot. As soon as I get it, you get it. And I don't overcharge to make a profit on shipping. So because of the way I do the merch, it's a 2-transaction action. I know that sounds cumbersome and maybe stupid or whatever you want to call it. But the reason I do it is because I charge you for what the shirts cost with literally like a $2 markup. So that $2 goes into the Organically Blunt Fund to pay for shipping or something else. Not very much. Not much at all. I keep the prices affordable for you guys. Okay. And then when I get to the shipper after that, I go and pick your products up from my print shop guy that's local, who does it right out of his house. And he's making waves in the cannabis industry. Dynamite Shirts. Check him out on Instagram. You'll love some of the stuff he's doing. Well, long story short, he treats me right. And he decided to do the back print for you guys at no additional cost. So you can't tell me that ain't cool. So instead of us charging $23 to $25 for a shirt, we're trying to keep them at $18 plus shipping. So then I take that shirt, I take it over to the shipper, and you dictate how much you want to pay for shipping. You can go the cheapest, slowest, with tracking. I prefer with tracking. I won't go without any cheaper. I'm sorry, guys, because if it gets lost, I want to know where it went. Or you can go priority, you can go overnight. It just depends on how much you want to spend for the shipping. I make sure it gets to your door and if you send me $20 for shipping, let's say, and I can ship a bunch of stuff in a priority mailbox, I might throw a bunch of extra stuff in there, and you might get it in 2 to 3 days. You never know what's going to end up in these boxes that I do. It's just how it is. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this shit's cool. I got it off Amazon last season when I went out to Sounds Resort for Michigan Gyms and Genetics. I wore it today, and I actually had it's a funny story, not to be weird or don't come off sexist, but I had a gal that was very good looking. Let's just say I'm single, and I went to do a delivery to her, and she was bent over in her garden working when I arrived. Great view. I'm sorry, guys, but anyway, she walks up, grabs her order from me, and she says, looks at my shirt and smiles and just says, "Have a great night." And I'm like, "Oh, I will." So, that's the great thing about what I do for a living. I can wear this kind of stuff. So my sponsors and partners are getting advertising every day because every day I'm wearing something cannabis related. I promise you. I have more than cannabis clothes than I do regular clothes. And people know that, like even in restaurants, people see this name and they already know, like literally in this town, they know not to ask me my opinion about something because they're going to get this right here. I mean, right from the tongue, I hate to say it. No hidden snakes. Yeah. Making pretty girls smile is one of the best. Yeah, definitely. Especially when she had her baby in her arm and she, walks up adorable, and she was very, very, very pretty. And yeah, long story short, yeah, she smiled at the shirt. It was great. I even got old people smiling at stuff I wear, and it's like, oh yeah, I know what you do. Don't play with me. Just because you're like in your 60s don't mean you ain't cheaping. You may act innocent, like, oh, it's been illegal. We don't do that. Bullshit. I see you senior citizens making your weekly trip down to the dispos in town every week. Don't tell me. I just wish y'all would learn how to grow it like you do your garden so we could have it healthier for you, because I don't like you going in there. I honestly don't like y'all in there that are senior citizens or your novice growers going in there, because a lot of that stuff is cured with a form of radiation, and that's not good for your body on top of everything else that they spray on them. Who knows? Because it's just like the vegetables you get from the store with the GMOs in it. I mean, gross. They're trying to pump it out as fast as they can. And because they can't do it the correct curing process, they gotta expedite it. So they use a cryo cure or a form of radiation essentially to get it so it's ready, so they can punch it out to you. I mean, radiation isn't supposed to be in our body. Definitely, I want to breed myself. I've been checking up on it. I did do my first clone, like I told a couple people. I had a branch on one of the GMO Oreos break off, and I clipped it and at a 45, and never done it, just off common knowledge what I've seen. Took my brand new non-opened X-Acto knife, and that medical grade, mind you, medical food grade stainless steel, and I order them off Amazon. Each one comes in its own sealed package. That way, you're not transferring anything from one plant to another. And I cut it at a 45. I stripped it back. I cut off a couple of the extra branches, and I put it in a root, organic root, like a cube, and it ain't dying, but I will admit some of the tips are starting to brown a little bit. But I used the Clonex gel. I dipped it in there and got it nice, and then put it right directly into the, like as soon as I cut it, I dipped it in the gel, and then I dipped it in and put it in the plug. So did I do it right? I don't know. I'm no professional, but it hasn't fully died yet. So hopefully here in a couple of days, I'll pull it out and we'll see if we got some roots coming off it. Like I said, I'm no professional. I'm learning right alongside a lot of you guys, and that's what's cool about it is if you guys say, hey, I want to learn how to do this, then I'm like, so do I, Yeah, clean cuts. It was clean, right, fresh, not stored. It was like it literally broke, and I'm like, whoa. I was bummed because one of the upper branches broke. And I was like, oh, really? I'm like, I'm going to try cloning this. Is it going to work? I don't know. Did I do it right? I don't know. Do I do it right in my own mind, according to what I've seen on numerous shows? Absolutely. Let's just hope I did it right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want it sterilized. You want it as sterile as possible, especially taking cuts or even just defoliating. That's why a lot of people use their fingers versus, even though you can transfer some there. Some people like to clean their scissors with like a Harvest More scissor cleaner, which is what I have. It's a little box. You fill it up with rubbing alcohol. It's got brushes in it. Clean your scissors between cuts. The reason why is, let's say this plant has something going on with it, and you cut a branch off it, and then you go over to this plant and cut a branch on it. Okay, what you just cut and it had going on that plant is on the blades of them scissors or your cutting apparatus. You now take that over and cut another branch on another. So whatever was in there when you made that cut, it's like basically like being a heroin addict, and I hate heroin addicts. So it's like you shooting up and then you taking that needle and giving it to your buddy and they putting it in them. Same deal. So you don't want to do that. Yes, I got them in a humidity dome. I have the AC Infinity humidity dome kit. I have the extended dome kit, so it's bigger. I like that, but I haven't caught up on one of the latest videos from Builder Soil. I got to go back. I started watching. I got about 10 minutes in. He's got a new style humidity dome he's using. I wanted to check out and see what it's about. I might try one of them. I'm always about trying new products, and seeing how they do. Definitely. Yeah. It might grow. I mean, if it does, great. I'm giving it to my buddy for outdoor anyways if it takes off. So it's just going to give him a head start, and he's going to have some GMO Oreos. He's an older guy. He's like 61, 62. Basically, he's Social Security disability. Not no disability, but Social Security, retired. He was an excavator, friend of mine, and he wants to grow a few, but he puts them in the dog kennel. It's kind of cool. He puts 3 of them in. Because I used to live there. It was where I used to live before I came homeless. His son and me are best friends. We've been best friends for over 34 years. Crazy. But long story short, me and his son are friends, but we're not as close as we used to be. But me and his dad are really close, and that's the guy who wants to grow some, and he's gonna grow them in a dog kennel. I've already got I think they're 25-gallon pots that I buried in the ground with drainage that I put good soil in, and then obviously once the roots get big enough, if they ever get that big, which they do, they'll grow out of the drainage holes into the native soil. But it gives it plenty of newts to keep it going for quite a long time, So all you essentially have to do, if you mix your dry amendments right, is water only, just like a living soil. And then, I put in red wigglers and earthworms, and that's another beneficial, Not only are you building your own worm castings right there, so you don't have to buy none, but you're also creating drainage paths, and you're also creating paths for the roots to get down by using the paths the earthworms made, believe it or not. And you gotta look at the worms, because some worms are top feeders and some worms are actually burrow type worms that actually go down in. I want to say, I think it's earthworms. I don't know. I think it's Canadian ones, but I'd have to double check. Don't quote me. I know one of them, I was educated not too long ago by Chris, that one of them stays at the top and one of them actually goes down in. So that's why you kind of want the both. Night crawlers. Yep. I figured it was the night crawlers. I just didn't want to say it. I was thinking it was the Canadian ones, because that's what we get here is Canadian night crawlers or the red wigglers. I love the red wigglers. Someone's got to tell if you want worms or so. Yeah, exactly. Worms make it so much. I love it. I just do. I like getting out there and digging in. And I tell you, you really want to see something cool when it comes to worms. Once you get them in there, take a half of an avocado, sit it there, and come back in a day. Lift it up. They all come up and they eat it. It's cool. They'll break the whole thing down, and it's beneficial. It is so cool to watch. Definitely. Yep. Okay, so the red wigglers are the top feeders. Okay, well, whatever way it is. I knew one or the other. I'm not a professional on worms neither, but I knew one stayed at the top and one went burrowed its way through. And, you don't want to overdo it, because then you get nothing but worm castings and you don't have good newt and food. So you want a well balance, but depending on the size of the bed or the pot, which Jeremy can educate you over at Build a Soil, or Chris at Country Roots. They know that stuff better than I do. I'm still learning, but it's definitely one of those ones where once you start using it, it's great. Now, ladybugs were very hard for me the last couple seasons to get. I think I did get some I did get some in the beginning of last season. And then they had all the wildfires out in California, which, Casey, you know about that. And it was like I couldn't get any. You just couldn't get them. And it sucked. It put a big damper on a lot of the outdoor grows. Even Mendo couldn't even find any for a while there. When I get them, I usually order 5,000 at a time. And you can store them in the refrigerator, believe it or not, as long as it ain't a freezing temperature, it's just a cool. And they usually come with a block of feed and some stuff in the bag, and it's a net bag. And you just open that bag and pour it on the plant. Not like pour, but you could let them out and they crawl it and they find the food. You ain't got to worry about putting it. They'll find it. Next thing you know, they're there. And they make ladybug houses too. So you could put the bag inside a ladybug house, and then they continue to come back to that to breed and everything. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. Definitely 50-50 split or less night crawlers. It's really up to your discretion. I think I did more of the ones that do the burrowing versus the top ones. I can't remember which one was which. I honestly can't, but you could do it with a little Google research. I'm sure you could figure it out. And I did less of the top feeders than I did the burrow or the bottom feeders, because I wanted them in there just making them ravines and them canals for the roots and the water. And, it just works out great. And they'll stay there as long as they have stuff to feed off of. You can actually go on Amazon and buy organic worm feed. It's looks like a bag of sand, but you can also feed them just like avocados and stuff too. So it works out great. Red wigglers in the sip container, and red wigglers are like the best. That is probably the one I would get over all of them, is the red wigglers. Yep, definitely. It's just beneficial. There's a lot of books out there, and I try to keep up and read them, but I'm on the road so much, it's so hard to read, so I listen a lot. But Jorge Cervantes has a great book. A lot of them. Jeff Lowenfels, he's got a lot of the Teaming with Microbes and Bacteria series. You can find a lot out of them books. I did. Then you got, people such as Mr. Grow It that make it easy. He's got a book out. I think he's actually got 2. He might be working on a 3rd, or he's working on a 2nd. It's either 2 or 3 he's got now. And then you have Ed Rosencrow, or however I can't even say his last name. I'm sorry. I suck at his last name. But Ed, he has the Marijuana Grow Bible, which I swear by. And he also has the newest one out, which is great. You'll find a lot of information over in all them books I mentioned, to the point that, you'll start getting a bookshelf like I got here. And it's really cool because you start to learn things. Excuse me. And I apologize. Sorry for the yawn. But to the point that you'll pick it up, you'll read it cover to cover like I did the first time. And then one day you'll grab it again and you'll look at it and you'll be like, oh, when did I miss this? Why didn't I know this? Like every time you pick up a book, you'll learn something new. I promise you. I do. And, definitely. The wish list grows definitely. And matter of fact, I know it sucks for the, knock on wood, for the authors, but I don't know where it went. I used to have a Google Docs link that had all the books in digital format, so you could just go on there and read them like PDF format. And I don't know what happened to that. That was kind of cool. It was a cool resource to have at one time, because you literally had all the books, so you could just go on there and read and get knowledge. But excuse me, I don't know where it went. I really don't. But for you guys that are sitting out here, tomorrow night, I appreciate you guys that did come in. We've been shooting the shit for about an hour here. I'm sorry that Richard couldn't make it tonight. I feel terrible. He felt terrible. But, tomorrow night, 3 judges. They're going to talk about how they've traveled to so many cups. And, there's so many questions I want to ask just out of curiosity, to the point like, yeah, I do need to smoke. I'm probably going to go for a ride down by the lake. It's Saturday night, even though it's midnight. I usually go down there. There's a tree of life, I call it. A tree that I have photographed for all my life of photography since I was like 16. So basically the past 22, 24 years, I've been photographing this tree. And it looks just like a bonsai tree, but not a bonsai tree. It's like a tree of life, in my opinion. And it's right on the bank, right on the curve of the road of Lake Michigan. And it's literally holding on for life. Like, it's insane. And I'm going to be sad when it goes, but it's my zen. It's my spot. I went there when my family was alive. Me and my grandpa would go there. I went there when he was dead. And it's just what I think, and it's peaceful. Nobody bothers me. I smoke. I might do upcoming show work, even though I'm relaxing, but it's just my spot. We all got to have a spot. And I always say, get out in nature. You never know what's surrounding you until you take a look around, I've had influenced people that live in cities and they just can't get to nowhere. And they say, hey, well, there's a patch of land behind my company's factory that has a pond. I'm going to go back there and sit and smoke one after work. that's ended up being a buddy of mine's Zen spot. The company did not mind. He was on his own time, but you know, people find their Zen in different places, and you just never know where yours is. Yeah, the Google review. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, you know. I got people that wish I could take reviews back from dispensaries here in town. You know, I was young, naive in the medical card game before growing, and gave them good reviews to get free ounces. And if I could go back and change my reviews, I wouldn't have said what I said, you know. But you know, Google reviews do play a lot in businesses nowadays, and they don't like it when you have to say the truth, you know. But you know, I do Google reviews as a photographer, so I do it so much people listen to what I have to say on local standpoints too. And I'm under my old brand, which was Sticky Mitts Cannabis on Google. So if you find me, you can follow me. You can see my photos. You can see my reviews. I've got over 4 million. You know, I know that's insane. I wish they paid for it. I wish I could get like $1 every review. That would be insane. I'd be so set. But it don't work like that. We don't get nothing for it. It's just simply for fun, you know. It's just a chance to get my work to be seen. That's basically it. You know, they used to give perks like discounts for restaurants and stuff, but they don't do that no more. Yeah. That is like a small country. 4 million views. I was shocked, you know. If I put a picture up, let's say, for example, tonight, by like tomorrow morning, it'll have over like 1,900 views already. It's insane. That moves faster than our YouTube channel here, which I'm trying to hit 1,000. You guys are getting there. You know, that'll be when we do the next giveaway. I'll talk to the sponsors. We'll do another big giveaway. We'll give away another grow setup. You know, maybe it'll be even a bigger one this time. You know, we don't know, but it's definitely going to be exciting. You know, some companies are struggling out there too. You know, I hate to say it, they are, you know, and some of them are prospering, you know, and you got to keep up with times, and you got to be able to conform and almost mutate to make some businesses work, you know. It's yeah, a whole tribe looking at a tree. Yeah, dude, you never know. You never know who's looking at these things, you know, but they work with you know, tourist stuff. So people come here and they want to know something to do or see something before they get here. They want to put it on there, and they see these beautiful pictures of sunsets and with beautiful trees and or whatever. And they're like, man, I want to experience that firsthand. So then they come because of what they saw in my photos. So that's how it works. You know, I have reviews from Michigan. I have some down in Georgia when I was down there. I did some photo work when I was just down there visiting of a bed and breakfast, a Victorian style bed and breakfast that's painted purple. And I put it on Instagram, on my personal Instagram. And I have 3. I actually have like 5, but you get the point. I have one that I just keep to myself for locals, and I won't say the name. It's strictly just for like friends, family, and the local community of the state of Michigan. And you know, I put something on there, and they ended up using it on their choice brochures for Savannah, Georgia. And I got my name put on it. I didn't get paid, but it's the point that you're getting exposure. So definitely, yeah. The pandemic has declined a lot of things, you know. Toast and jam. Oh, don't say that, because that's the name of a breakfast restaurant here, and they have phenomenal food. It's called Toast and Jams. No bullshit. Like phenomenal breakfast food. And you're making me hungry. And it's 12. We have a 24-hour Taco Bell. We have a almost 24-hour Arby's on, and we have a gas station. And I think that's about it for tonight. Wendy's just closed 2 minutes ago, so I can't go to Wendy's. So that it's going to be probably taco hell tonight. We always get to talking to food on Organically Blunt when we're shooting the shit. I swear, the munchies, man. I haven't even ate today. Call me crazy. I eat once a day, and I haven't even ate yet, and it's already the next day. So I didn't eat yesterday. I'm going to be going and getting something, but I eat out every day. Like I tell you guys, I'm always on the road. I get sick of eating fast food. I need to start eating healthier. I really do, but it sucks. Yeah. And I was supposed to have allergy testing last week. I've been dealing with problems since October, health-wise, sinus-wise, and figure out what I'm allergic to, change my diet probably. And that's the reason why Green Bodie didn't come on, was because wasn't because I had that. That got recanceled and rescheduled to June. And so the Green Bodie got rescheduled because I had jury duty. I was sitting on a jury all last week. It sucked. It totally sucked. And now I can talk about it because they're sentenced. The guy stole something. They didn't even say what the item was, but he stole something from a Dollar Tree and then went into the Home Depot next door. Instead of trying, I don't know, but they caught him in Home Depot. And it was his first offense, but they charged him with third-degree retail fraud, and he got like a year's probation, a bunch of community service, and we had to sit on a jury for like 2 to 3 days. It was ridiculous. I don't eat steak, Casey. As a kid, I was a vegetarian as a kid. I really was. I did not like meat, period. Like my parents used to have to force me to eat it. And steak was never my favorite. Honestly, I didn't like it, and I hated pot roast. And now I eat pot roast. I love it if it's cooked or smoked right. Yes, smoked pot roast. Yes, phenomenal if you haven't tried it. Smoked pot roast sandwich, thinned, sliced. Put it on a sandwich like a Cuban with some Cuban sub bun with some butter and some pepper jack or Swiss cheese. Yeah, that's the way to do it. I'm leaning towards I probably am going to end up being more vegan, believe it or not. I already don't eat a lot of GMO. I eat organic for a lot of things, but when I do eat healthy and I like it, it's just so expensive and it's not convenient. That's the downfall. So on the road, I go for convenience, Taco Bell and stupid shit. I hate it. I honestly do, because I wish it was healthier. I mean, I wish it was, healthier, but I wish it was more affordable to be healthier. I wish, man. And I could probably do like crock pot dumps but I'm not home to eat. I'm usually on the road. So, but I do have a power inverter. I just got to find out if I can plug something that'll keep my food warm or cook it while I'm driving around. That would be cool. Cook a crock pot full of food while I'm out delivering all day. And then I could just pour a bowl or eat something, healthier. Yeah, it's not very, we don't have, now that I think about it, we don't have any vegan or organic, I think, in my county. It sucks because, we have options, but now I'm talking like a full restaurant. And most people don't know about the options because they don't really advertise them. So it sucks. Because of my alopecia, I'm allergic to so many stupid things that, I'm waiting for my allergy test to find out what I truly am. I have a feeling, long story short, I do have dentures, as some of you might know or can tell, but I have a feeling I'm allergic to them, or the glue that uses to hold them in, which the glue has zinc in it, which is a trace metal. So there is a chance I could be allergic to trace metals, including zinc. So we'll see. Man, health fanatics. We got a few towns around here like that. We have one, it's called Fruitport. It's just like the name. They were known for having a port where fruit came in to the town back in the day, in the boating days. But long story short, they're well off town, very well off, and they're very health conscious. Like they have hiking and jogging trails that are paved for miles around the town, and it goes down by the lake, and kayaking and all kinds of cool stuff. Beautiful place, beautiful. If you want to look it up, go ahead and Google it. Fruitport, Michigan. And they're very health conscious there. Like you go driving around, there's people jogging all the time. I'm not very exercises. I get a lot of steps in just doing my job. Over 15,000 a day. No bullshit. That's a lot. So I know it's not the same as exercise, but it is in my opinion. I'm not fat. I have a high metabolism. And nothing against anybody that's heavy or considered what they consider themselves fat. I hate to use that word, but I'm sorry. I apologize for anybody that takes offense to that. But, you know, I have a high metabolism, so I can't gain weight. That's my problem. So, but yeah, I mean, I would love to be able to eat healthier if it was more, especially if it was more affordable. That would be a nice thing. You know, you look at other countries such as the UK and Europe and stuff, and they eat healthier. They do because it's affordable. It's like everybody's on that. Like when my parents went to Germany, they eat healthier. Like it's crazy. Like just people eat more conscious about their body, just like our plants. People grow their plants healthier than they grow their bodies themselves. I hate to put it that way. They do. They really do. Me included. Like we treat our plants better than we treat our own body. It really should be the other way around. Yeah, like you don't want this in your plants. I'm not going to feed it this. I'm not feeding it bottle newts, organics. But then we go to Taco Bell and we're eating synthetic meat. Not really synthetic, but I can tell you right now, and if you didn't know this, I worked at Taco Bell when I was a kid. They take and they get these bags of meat. They're not even considered, according to what some people have read off them, the grade of the meat is the same as what they would feed animals. It's not good. Same as dog food. Well, long story short, we get them in bags. They're already made to go. It kind of looks like a taco meat sloppy Joe bag. Big bag. We drop them in a steamer, a water steamer. It puts it up to temp. We take it, we dump that bag into the cold storage, stainless steel container, and it goes into a cold storage like a salad bar thing. And that's that. There's your meat. You know, boom. Obviously, it's hot. It's heated on that side, but boom, that's it. And that's your meat for your Taco Bell. No bullshit. Right there, you know. And the sour cream. The sour cream comes in caulk tubes. Like if you were to caulk a window or a door, same thing, but it's sour cream. And the same thing with the guacamole. I promise you. And they even have special caulk guns made for them. Hey, I'm just telling you the truth on both sides, you know. I don't mean to ruin your appetite. I apologize, y'all. But you know, that's the truth of the food, you know. I grew up in the restaurant industry. My grandparents owned a restaurant for 30 plus years. My grandma loved to bake. She loved to make stuff. I know how to cook. I'm pretty damn good at it. I hate to say it. I'm not a chef, but I'm pretty damn good. My specialty is barbecue and smoking meats and desserts. Because my grandma was a baker and we owned a deli. Well, and I grew up in the deli as a kid. I learned how to make deli foods mostly and smoke meats. So I know how to make good sub sandwiches and hero sandwiches and Phillies and Italians, and I know how to do all that fun stuff. Yeah, definitely. I do like meat now. It's just I don't really like steak. I'm very odd. And I say that when it comes to meat because I don't eat meat on the bone. It has to be boneless meat. Crazy, I know. I don't like the bone. Joke, pun, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, I can taste the cartilage. And some people say that's weird, but I literally can taste the cartilage of the bone. If it's chicken or steak, I won't eat it. Now, I like steak. I like steak tacos. I like steakums. I like Philly cheesesteaks. I like shredded steak meat for like sandwiches. I just don't like the actual steak. It's just how I am, you know. I feed my cat meat. He loves that shit. Oh, I bet my cousins are canine breeders, and they feed their dogs, like they cook rice and garden vegetables that are organic, and they'll take some meat and cut it up, and they make a perfect meal for this dog. This dog's eating better than I am. And these dogs are legit German shepherds, like from Germany, like Papers and AK, whatever, rated and this rated and that rated, and they breed them, and the puppies go for like thousands of dollars. It's ridiculous. But hey, that's their business. I mean, that's what they do for a living. And yeah, their dogs get the royal treatment, like no bull. Like their dogs even have Serta mattresses they live on and or sleep on. And I'm like, man, that must be nice. Like crazy. Yeah, definitely. Nothing wrong with that. If you're eating good, so should everybody else in the family. And if you feed everybody on the same type of diet, it rules out the junk food, you know. That's what makes it easier, is when you get everybody to do it versus one person in the household. If you get one, it's not going to work, because they're going to see somebody else eating a Twinkie or a Little Debbie or something, or a piece of chocolate cake with strawberries on top or something. And they're going to be like, oh, I want that. I just ate a salad trying to eat healthy. That ain't going to work like that. You know, it's too much temptation from about 85% of the people. I say that because there is about the 15% that have enough willpower to oversee and say, I'm not going to eat that. But not very many. Definitely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My grandma used to make this cake. I'm going to make y'all a drawer. It's a cherry cordial cake. And if you've ever had chocolate covered cherries, it's similar. So we take a chocolate cake, a bundt cake, so it's around like a donut. We make the cake all from scratch. We then take and make a homemade. I personally have my favorite cakes, but to make this cake, hers, a homemade fudge frost, chocolate frosting goes on there. It's homemade. And then we go with the cherries, pie filling, homemade also. So it's got like the cherry and the gelatin, kind of like a cherry pie. And that goes over the top. And oh my God, that was my favorite growing up. Other than my absolute favorite cake is a German chocolate cake. But you got to have the real authentic German coconut frosting. If you don't, it ain't good. I love cakes. Like I said, my grandparents owned a restaurant and a bakery. So cakes are my apps. That's why I love Little Debbie's. They are my weakness. You can give me any kind of cake or bread and I'm going to eat it. You know, zucchini bread, banana bread, pumpkin bread, lemon meringue cake. I mean pie. I like that. Banana cream pie, chocolate cake, carrot cake, red velvet cake, all of them. I will smash all that stuff. I promise you. And if I'll tell you something you guys probably ain't never had. There's two things you can make that if you're poor and want cake and they want it a different way. My grandma made it and I wasn't going to try it when I tried it, and it tasted better than regular cake. It's a mayonnaise cake or a ketchup cake. Check it out. You're probably thinking, what the hell? Google it. You'll be like, whoa, that's crazy. Yeah, it's pretty cool how you can use them ingredients to make cake. Definitely, zucchini bread is phenomenal. send you a slice. So yeah, definitely. Oh yeah. Yeah, my grandma made so many. I could talk on and on about some of the stuff she used to make. You know, pumpkin rolls. They're like kind of like a Swiss cake roll, but it's pumpkin rolled up instead of chocolate with the what is that? It's not cream cheese. Is it cream cheese? I think it is cream cheese. Yeah, cream cheese in the middle. Phenomenal. I'm trying to think. She make Texas sheet cake, which is another good thing. You know, these are just foods. Mayo. I think it was mayo instead of eggs, honestly. Now that you mentioned that. No, I can't let all of them out. She had a wet burrito recipe that people die for the sauce recipe, and I still haven't let it out. Like nobody will ever get that sauce recipe as good as hers. Like I can't even get it that close, and it's only 3 ingredients. Yeah, it's insane. That was the staple of our restaurant was our wet burritos. Like people came near and far. I'm talking wet burritos big enough. You're going to eat half as a full grown man, and then you're going to eat the other half tomorrow because you can't finish it. It's that big. Yeah. Oh, I love talking food. Don't get me started. You got me hungry as hell out here, and I know I'm going to either Taco Bell or Arby's because that's all that's open, and I'm not going to go to the gas station because then I'll eat sugar foods, which ain't bad, but my munchies are the same every time I go to the store. I always grab a honey bun. I always got to have my honey bun. And I grabbed that, a Fast Break, Reese's Fast Break candy bar, because I love Reese's, and a pack of the Sour Punch straws like we used to get when we were kids with all the sugar on it. Yeah, them are my go-tos every time. Every time, I promise you. And they tend to grab me every time I'm guilty, but definitely. We've got a few new restaurants out this way, Crumble cookies. I don't know if any of you guys have tried Crumble. We finally got that here in town. I tried it. I personally don't like a lot of the cookies. I mean, I'm a cookie guy, but the way they make them, it's like eating a cake on a cookie, and some of them are so rich. Oh, you can't even eat the whole thing. I thought I loved sugar until I bite into like one of the Crumble lemon meringues or something. Oh, I can't stand it. I mean, I love the stuff altogether. I like it, but it's just so rich. You're just like, oh, I can't even eat it. Like you want to put it away. And my favorite there is probably the chocolate chip. That was the best one I've had so far. But every week it changes. It's kind of cool. Something new to town, and everybody's on it, and it's a new thing in town here anyway. I mean, out in California or where some of you guys are, I'm sure there's probably much bigger things that we haven't seen that will eventually hopefully make it this way. We don't have a lot of the cool shit like you guys have, KC. We don't have In-N-Out Burger. We don't have White Castle. We don't have I know they're not cool, but you know what I mean. These are things people talk about. We don't even have a cheesecake factory in this town. We do. I've been to one, but we don't have one. We don't have a Cracker Barrel. We don't have a Kroger. We don't have a Costco. We don't have any of that cool stuff that you guys got. We don't have a Trader Joe's. I wish we did have some of them. I'm sure they are. But it's new to us. It's a culture shock to small towns. It really is. Wow, really? Where are you from, dead folk? Man, I never heard of that. That's crazy. Oh, yeah, I think you did have a bunch of weird stuff where you live. I remember. Yeah, it might not be, but man, I tell you, it just sounds cool. You guys have a lot of cool stuff. Burlington, Vermont. I have a cousin that lives in Vermont. Unfortunately, he is addicted to meth. Yes, I know, sad. It breaks my heart. It really does. He lost his baby, his wife, and his family. I mean, when he lost his wife, tragically, as I think is when he turned to meth. And then he ended up losing the baby. So I don't know. I heard they're back together now and things are finally working out. I don't know. I don't tend to talk to that side of the family. But yeah. Hippie. Man, I need to come out that way then. I think that would be badass. I love the gypsy lifestyle. I really do. Honestly, this house is too big for me. I'm the type of person I could be totally content living in a car or a shed. Like, as long as I have a place to grow my plants. I don't care about me having a lot of stuff. I don't need stuff. I'm very honestly, even though it looks like I got a lot here, I'm extremely frugal. Like, I don't need nothing. Oh, I love the mountains. I've been to the Appalachian Mountains plenty of times, and I've been through the Smokies, and my cousin lives in Kentucky, right in the mountains. So I get out there, sometimes. It's been about a year since I've been out there. I got to get out there. He's been asking, he's full tribal Indian. It's pretty cool. He lives off grid. It's totally awesome. Like, his tomato plants are hydroponic, but he developed it having no knowledge of hydroponics really when it comes to like cannabis or nothing. And they're hydroponic, but not like hydroponic. Like, the bottom of these tomato plants is like a fish tank, and the fish emotion feeds the plants, and they grow even through the winter because they don't get a lot of snow in his area, a couple inches a year. And he grows tomatoes, and he'll have fresh tomatoes growing on these plants in the middle of the winter. And I'm like, dude, that is badass. It is. Yeah. What up, Static? We're just shooting the shit tonight. Unfortunately, our guest from Jamaica could not get the software to work. And it's a bummer, We had 2 shows that kind of had to be rescheduled this week. And I'm glad we have one tomorrow because I wanted to come on here and still give you guys something. I didn't want to just cancel and say, sorry, we're going to reschedule. So came on here, shot the shit with you guys. Been on here an hour and a half, just shooting. I ain't even smoked. I'm just shooting the shit. I got a half can of cold Mountain Dew here, and I'm just gabbing at the mouth. I'm actually enjoying myself. I want to do a seed giveaway tonight, but they already limited it to one a week. 1 pack a week is what we all agreed on. So we're going to do it tomorrow night. That way there's more involved, and it makes it a little more fun. This week it'll be from Captain Redbeard's. It's called Seeds of Bounty. Each week we will do a Seeds of Bounty, and you come and you collect your bounty, and then the breeder will ship directly to you. And unless it's seedsman, once I get them in rotation, I'm waiting on a big shipment. I will then it'll come from me. Cake giveaway tonight. Yeah, let me overnight that on something. Let me grab a bag of dry ice or something. It might be frozen, and you might have to unthaw it, but it'll be fresh. It won't be warm, but it'll be fresh. Yeah, I wish. I'm not smoking nothing tonight, right now, but earlier I was smoking on some sour diesel. I picked up some of that. Honestly, from the local dispensary, and I've been puffing on that for the past week, waiting for this bubblegum auto from Fast Buds to get done. It's starting to pack on. It's finally starting to get some decent bud structure to it. It's going to be a while, but I want to say that was a 60 some odd day strain. I'd have to go back and look, but that's what I'll be hopefully smoking on soon, and then we'll get it in the rotation and see what I'm running next. I've got so many different autos because I do love my autos. The autos are finicky, but once you learn how to grow them, it's pretty fun. You can top them, you can defoliate, you can transplant, you can do all the stuff if you know how. There's a correct procedure to doing all that. Like, if you don't, it will definitely stunt, and it'll definitely affect your yield. Maybe not the quality, but your yield. And I laugh when some people say, "Hey, autos aren't as strong, or autos ain't as good." Excuse me. Why aren't they? It's the same thing. I hate to say it. And it's all on how you grow it. If you want to grow shitty autos, grow shitty autos. I mean, I still put the love into them, and I've never had a problem with mine, and I like them, But then again, I've smoked some shit that you guys probably would never smoke. I come from the Mexican brick days, and I would still smoke some of that if I honestly had to and had nothing else. I am not picky. The only thing I don't do, and my one buddy Smoking Stork, which you guys should check out his genetics, Smoking Stork Genetics. He's on Facebook. and Instagram, Smoking Stork 420. Like he said, he saves his roaches, puts them in a jar, breaks them down when he gets dire need. Maybe I should. I used to when I was younger, but I grew out of that. I throw them away by the jar full, and people are like, "Wow, that's crazy!" And I'm like, I don't like the taste of reburnt. I don't. I like it fresh. It's just how I am. So like, pack a fresh one, smoke it up. Definitely, that's just how I am. I'm not one for that burnt taste. When it's got like almost like a burnt taste. Reminds me of cigarettes when you put them out. I used to be a cigarette smoker. I hate cigarettes. Now I'm actually allergic to them, but you put them out. Most people, the smart thing is you blow out to kind of blow that staleness out of it. But Doob tubes work too. I guess I could use them. But my roaches are usually pretty much gone unless they get a hole in it or something from my cone. And I don't re-smoke them. Like my buddy said, I should donate them to the homeless. I really should. My brother used to collect them, Squints that used to be on the show. I used to save them for him, and he'd give them to my other brother, and he'd be so happy because, he's autistic and he can't work very well. He does now, but, a lot of things battled him down. He works at Walmart, but he's doing great. He's doing great. Got a baby, all that stuff. But he's autistic, so he's not the smartest when it comes to growing. Not to be mean, but I used to give them to him, and I remember one time I gave him like a whole quart-sized mason jar full of good ones, like half cones basically, and this dude had them smoked in like 2 weeks. I was like, holy shit, dude, you were chiefing. Like, yeah. But I'm gabbing at the mouth here. If you guys want me to shut up, just say so. I can't stop yawning. I'm not tired, but I just can't stop yawning. Definitely. But what's everybody else smoking on tonight? I'm probably gonna get off here soon here in a minute and go partake in some food. Yeah, definitely. We're gonna be going out to Hetty, probably at Big Cloud. I've got in June I've got probably quite a bit of events. You'll probably catch me out at Michigan Gyms of Genetics at the Science Resort. That's coming up. That's going to be phenomenal. They're going to have Echoes of Pink Floyd, which is a laser light show that does reenactments of Pink Floyd, and it's going to be pretty cool. Lemon AK, man. I love me some AK-47. Old school there. Oh, yeah. AK-47, Northern Lights, White Widow, Lemon OG. Trying to think of some of the other ones. Chem Dog. Yeah, definitely a quick walk. It's always nice out here too. It's late here, but lemon skunk wax, definitely. If you like wax and stuff, I don't know if he ships, but there's a guy that goes by the name Frogrowli. It's FREGROWLI on Instagram. Check him out. He makes some flight packs, and he's got like a clementine and a lemon skunk. I think it is a lemon skunk. Yeah, that shit is phenomenal. Like, its quality is bar none. I don't do dabs or wax or anything. Have I wanted to? I'm thinking about, starting to make a couple of what they call hash holes for myself. Do a live rosin or a wax worm down the middle and put it in like some king palms or something. And I don't know, something. I'm not good at that stuff. I'm still learning. But I definitely want to try one, I tried a cheap one from the Dispo, and I thought it cheap. It was actually quite expensive in my opinion, and it wasn't worth it. $25 for a hash hole. and it wasn't any better than anything I grew or smoked myself. And it's like, okay, this sucks. Now I know why I grow my own. Like, it doesn't compare at all. Like, you know what you're putting into your plant, you know what you're putting into your body when you grow it yourself versus buying it. That's just my complete standpoint in one sentence. You know what you're putting into it, and you know what you're putting in your body when you grow it yourself. Plain and simple. Hey, nothing wrong with that. You know, if I had a rig, I would too. I got the water bong back there. I think I've used it 2 or 3 times. I love it. Castle Glass Rigs, great people, great things, you know, but I'm always in the car. So it's more of a conversation piece. People come over. I thought about taking it to some of the camp out events and, you know, we'll pass it around, but I don't want it to get broke for one, and for two, the transport alone, I don't want to risk it. It's 55 and 8 here, pre-tax. Okay. We've got places here that are selling for $5 a gram. I've seen places sell 8s for as cheap as 15, if not cheaper. The ultimate goal of the market here, I think, essentially, is to probably get the price down to around $1 a gram. But they're also trying to control the market these last few weeks. I don't care what they say. They say they don't, but they didn't. So they have a $25 ounce locally here. $25 ounce, yes. It is not worth shit. It's full of seeds. It's full of stems. It's probably yellow. It's good for edibles. That's where you can get your product to make your edibles if you really want to. And then it goes to the $40 ounce, which isn't bad. It's smokable. It gets a good high. It's got some seeds in it. It might be slightly yellowed. It's probably been harvested about a year ago. Well, people buy them ones up left and right. They're calling them the mid-budget bag. Well, like I said, they're mids. They're okay. They're better than regs, but they're not loud. All the shops around town are out of them. It's like, okay, you know, why? What's the next level? I call and ask. I just call to get information. They don't know who I am. I don't mention it. I just call to get info. And they said, we got the $60 ounces. So what they're doing is they're trying to push the market back up, but they still got to do the cheap ones because people aren't buying the expensive ones. They want it cheap. It's kind of a double-edged sword, but so you buy the $60 ounce. Here with tax, the $60 ounce will come to, I don't even know. I'd have to look. It's about $13 tax. So it's about 70 some odd dollars. And the $79.99 ounce, which is the next step up, you're paying like $93 out the door for it with tax. Yeah, ridiculous. But, and then it goes up there. I think the most expensive ounce I've seen is like $2 or $2.50. Is it worth it versus, you know, the 40? I don't know. I'd have to compare. And that's the thing I don't like about the market here is they don't let you see the product. Same thing with Canada, I heard. They don't let you see the product. Like, they'll let you see it in a little jar that's been sitting out there probably all day, and it's got a little button you press on it to get a whiff. You don't see them package it. You don't even see what you're getting. They hand you the bag. You go out. You can open it in your car. If you're not happy with it, tough shit. You got it. You know? Definitely. Housework. Oh, man. What are you doing, Dustin? I need to do that myself, honestly. I need to do some housework. I've been slacking. Just vacuuming and dusting the ceiling fans. I'm never home. So it sucks because the air sits stagnant and I don't get it moving around. But when I go to bed at night, you know, that's it. That's the only time I'm home. Literally to sleep and shower. That's it. But yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, we kind KC got the first black shirt of the Organically Blunt shirt we got made. And I must say, I'm going to be getting me a black one now because I like how they turned out. They turned out very nice. You know, you can get them on any color you guys want too. If you guys don't want it on black or tie-dye, you want it on red, you want it on yellow, let me know. Whatever you want it on, we'll put it on. You want it on yellow tie-dye, we'll try to find one. You know, I'm not picky to one design, you know. Definitely. Yeah, housework is no fun unless you're smoking and eating at the same time. That's what I do. And then I don't get much done, but hey, I'm doing something. Got to have a good sativa. You know, definitely. My state needs to fix the laws about concentrates they put alone on THC. Yeah, same thing in Kentucky. I think they legalized Delta 8, believe it or not, but yet they can't have like THC. I don't know. I'd have to go look, but that's what my cousin was telling me, something like that. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, man, I'm so ripped, because he ain't never really smoked until they got it legal down there in the edibles and shit. And I'm like, dude, if you think you're ripped on that shit, don't come back up here because you'll be fucked up. I promise you. Like, this isn't for the weak if that's what you're used to. Yeah, but he knows he wants to try some of the shit I grow. Just like I was talking to UKC earlier, my buddy out in LA, he's been begging me to ship him. I know you can't really ship it, but begging me to ship or get him some Michigan flower. He says it's so much better. I don't know. Well, that's cool. That's definitely different. They call them compounds, huh? What about RSO? Do you guys have access to that over there? You know, because RSO is very expensive here, but I don't know if they limit it or not. I don't know. I don't think they do. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I mean, different compounds. You know, you got your diamonds and everything. I'm learning all this stuff, you know. I don't even know how you do some of this stuff, to be honest, but it blows my mind. But it's definitely one of those ones where you're like, wow, there's some fire right there. My buddy has some diamonds. And I don't know a lot about it, but from my understanding, the diamonds, it was live diamonds too, or whatever you call it, was clear. Like clear. And I was like, he's like, the clearer it is, the more potent. And I'm like, holy shit. I do not want one of them. He's like, here, take a little worm. And I'm like, no, I'm good, dude. I never did. Like, dabs in me, they make it hard for me to breathe. So, like, yeah, blast off is right. Like, I can't breathe when I take a hit like that. And I don't have breathing issues. It's just I can't breathe. I have sinus issues. So I guess I do have breathing issues. I don't have asthma, but I have sinus issues that affect my breathing. So, yeah, I get the cough. And the first time I did a dab, I puked. I'm not going to lie. I couldn't breathe. It came out my nose and everything. It was terrible. Luckily, I did it over the sink. So that way I didn't get a mess. But yeah, like that was the one time I did it, and I haven't done it since. You're right. Exactly. COPD, and it runs in my family. My grandparents both had it. Bad. That's what actually killed my grandma, essentially. She had COPD and had a leaking heart valve that was leaking outside of the heart. And they did surgery, and after 16 hours, they ripped her aorta. She bled out. It was terrible, but she had bad COPD. And so did my grandpa, like bad. Like I couldn't even cut the grass when they had the windows open. Like it was bad. And they were using inhalers and shit like that. So I'm hoping I never get that. Flavor's the way to go. Yeah. You know, like I tell people, you know, you can go by THC, but if you want to smoke something that tastes like sucking on a permanent marker, go ahead. I want flavor. I'll stay in that 18 to 23% max. Anything more than that, and you start losing flavor, I think. And that's just personal opinion. I'll even go less than 18. I'll go down to 16, 15% THC if I have to, because I know the flavor's there. The terps are strong, and it's just something that you enjoy. Yeah, them glass quart straws are actually starting to, them glass straws, period. Like, I was on another show the other night, and people are starting to love them things just for drinking out of. And they're reaching out to some of these glass blowers, and they're blowing custom straws. I was like, that's badass. I want one just for drinking. Definitely, yeah. You got to have that flavor. If it doesn't taste good to me, I'll smoke it, but it ain't gonna be my favorite. Probably my out of the past few grows we've done, my personal favorite genetic pheno that I have grown lately, and this is just personal. I've grown a lot, but it has to be the Orange Punch Mimosa from Barney's Farm. That stuff was phenomenal flavor. Like, I'm ready to pop some more of that shit. Like, I might even keep a mother of that around and take some clones like me and KC were talking about, because I got the dry tent, which is small enough I could hold a mother in it if I needed to, because I dry in the tent I grow in anyway. So yeah, I mean most of the chem I grew up with was lower THC for sure, but was great highs. Exactly, like the chem dog was strong because of the terps, but yet the THC level wasn't always like blast off, but yet it was enough that it would set you back. You got that gas feeling. I love my gases, but I also love my fruits too. And earthies ain't bad, I like some earthy tones, but not always. I don't like to always feel like I'm sucking down something that tastes like dirt, but sometimes it's not bad, Chocolate strains are good. I like them. Some people don't. A lot of people don't. Chocolate does not do a good outdoors here in Michigan. Any chocolate strains totally suck outdoors here. It's like it's not warm enough. A lot of them chocolate strains have Thai in them, though. Thai-based strains, and I just think the humidity and the temperature isn't warm enough for them. Daiquiri lime. Ooh. That does sound good. I like sours. That's why I'm doing the sour glue from Atlas, because glue strains, that is like a Michigan staple. Like, if you're growing glue outdoor, you're almost guaranteed it's going to be good, because like it just loves the environment Michigan has, and it grows so well. That and cookies, Girl Scout cookies. I don't know why they both grow here, but they love it. And so I figured, all right, I'm going to go with some glue from Atlas, but I want the sour diesel. So let's mix the two and get the best of both. And that's what I'm doing, I want that gas, but I also want some fruit. But at the same time, I think I'm going mostly for gas this year. But I would like to get a couple purples in there, so I might throw a few of them. I like color too. It's fun. And I'll probably throw a couple either super freaks or freak shows into the garden this year. Outdoor, just in their low raised garden bed for fun. So I'll have stuff stored everywhere. I'm hoping to get this soil series done before the heat of summer. We're hitting Sunday will be the end of week 3. And I'm hoping to release that day, if not Monday morning. It depends on how things go. And I'm told to only grow them to 5. So we'll see where they're sitting at 5. If they ain't as big as I want them, I might push them to 7. But we'll see. Skunky weed dead, folks, because it stinks, though, through the plastic bags. We just got it skunk. I hate to say it. We just got it skunk. It's funny here. Sometimes I wonder if my neighbors actually can smell my plants, They complain that it stinks like skunk out here, but maybe somebody else is growing. I don't know. Floral sour mulberries and lemon with a touch of feel. You know, Hip, I think either you were talking about that the other day or somebody else was. Similar. They had a strain that, and they explained it exactly the same way you just did. You know, it just, it was weird. It had a floral to it, but yet it was sour, yet it was gassy, yet it was lemony and mulberry and fuely. I don't know. Some of them are weird. I had one of them for my can of Connection, which is a micro grow here, one of my favorites. And they had one that had that mulberry taste to it. And it was just like, wow, this is something I ain't never tasted before. Like, totally unique profile. Yeah. Yeah, it was not bad at all. Like, he definitely got something that's probably been back crossed a few times, you know. It was probably crossed and back crossed and crossed and back crossed again. So it's probably like a quad cross to get all them flavors in there. So it's basically a salad in itself. So instead of you grinding up a bunch of shit and just mixing it in a cone or a joint and making a salad that way, they said, okay, we'll just make the plant a salad so you don't have to mix a bunch of shit when you grind it up when you harvest. Sounds like a good idea to me. I know it's probably not what they thought, but that's my anticipation of the thought. A little nerdish, but hey, that's okay. You know, I would have looked at it and said, hey, you know, you guys made a living salad plant. And I ain't talking like the kind you put dressing on. I mean, you probably could put some dressing on it and some nice teeth or some rosin. That could be a nice salad bowl there. Yeah. Bag seed. Huh. I got a jar full of bag seeds from years and years. I just keep putting them in there. Some of them got to be fire, you know, and I call them my backup. If ever get down to dire needs and I need some medicine and I don't have any phenos, I'm that dire, I got them. Mango haze. Any northern lights? Any haze? Yeah, I think one of mine might be a haze that I might have going. I think it's a clementine haze and something else. I don't know. I'd have to look. But yeah, hazes are good. I've had Silver Surfer haze. That's what it's called. Silver Surfer haze from Dank Seeds back in the day. And that wasn't bad at all. Definitely. I like mango. I do. I really do. Someone needs to come up with a mango pineapple express. I'm sure there is one. But that would be badass. It would be almost like the drink. Mango pineapple drinks. And them ain't bad. You know, if you like tropical. Definitely. But yeah, we've been on here 2 hours shooting the shit with you guys. I got 4 of you in the chat. It's 1 a.m. I'm going for a cruise. I'm going to go get me some dinner. Finally. You guys get the munchies. You know, hopefully you guys eat something good. I don't know what time it is where all y'all are at, but enjoy it. I know Callie's like usually 3 hours behind. So it's like, what, 11 o'clock? Oops. I got a Wipeout Express taller than me in the tent. Dude, I'm telling you, them bubblegum autos from Fast Bud right now. I'll leave on this note. This is what I'm going to leave on. But I'm 5'6", and they are up to my breast. Not a female breast, but a male breast, my chest. They are that tall in the 2x4 right now. And I'm like, they're the biggest autos I've ever grown because I always grew in a grow bucket system. And I'm like, holy shit. These have to be the biggest autos I've ever grown, you know? So it's cool, you know, bubblegum. It's the old school bubblegum style. So it should be good. Yeah, I feel you, Casey. I'm burnt out from the week too, but I'm looking forward to tomorrow night with everybody. That'll be a lot of fun. but I'm probably gonna go smash some Taco Bell or something. You know, I wish we still had our 24 restaurants that we used to have, but well, the pandemic played the factor to that, unfortunately. And like even oh, it makes me so mad. Our Big Boy, we got a Big Boy right here, and I've never really ate there, but they have all right food. And the Big Boy has virtual restaurants in it, like Nathan's Hot Dogs and Mr. Beast Burger and Wow Wow and some other shit. I don't know. There's like 4 virtual restaurants. Cool. Tell me why the hell they closed this damn place at 8 o'clock. I'm like, damn, some people ain't even out of work yet. And some people are just getting ready for dinner, like at that time. Like, okay. And almost everything in my town is closed by 9 p.m. It sucks. I hate it. Like, and then the grocery stores, Walmart closes at 11, and the other store closes at midnight. And they both used to be 24 hours. And it's like, what about these people that work second shift that want something to eat or want to go grocery shopping when they get out of work? Now we have to sacrifice sleep in order to do that before we could make it fit our schedule. Yeah. I see that. You're definitely right. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, they have jobs out here. Even the factories here have these new apps. My friend was showing me. I forget what it's called, but you go on there and it's like a temp agency, and you pick a job. You pick a shift for the day, and they cash you out at the end of the shift right to your account. Like, I'm like, obviously it's like me, 1099, but I'm like, man, you ain't even got to wait for your paycheck. People are literally working 1-day shifts. I work 7 days a week. I work 365 days a year. I haven't had a day off in 3 years. So, I mean, I take time off to do things, but I still somehow work some way or another. So, yeah, exactly. About 6 hours is about how I do it too. And that's usually sleeping. Yeah. Neither did I, dude. She showed me, and I was like, whoa, that's insane. She's like, yeah, I can pick up any shift I want. They can't fill them, so they come in and have you run machine. They teach you how, and you can work for a day, a week. You can pick up as many as you want. You're picking up shifts, and they cash you out right there, like on the app. And I'm like, what happened to workforces? Like, now people can make donuts on Monday and go work in a factory on Tuesday and make pizza on Wednesday and then go back to the factory on Thursday. Like, okay, I guess whatever makes you happy, but I don't know. Yeah, I work for myself too, Casey. So, like, that's how I'm able to do the show and fit other people's schedules. It's because I work for myself and I enjoy it. I might not be rich, but I tell you what, the independence is rich enough. You know, I don't have to deal with coworkers, a boss. I get vacation time if I really want it, obviously without pay, but I get it. If I have a doctor's appointment, I can go. You know, if I want to sleep in one day, I can sleep in. Nobody can tell me what I can and can't do. If I want to wear this shirt, I can. I smoke all day long. Like, I can't beat it. Like, I'm happy. Yeah, definitely. California thing. Hang loose. You know, definitely. Yeah. But, you know, I'm going to end that. We're almost to 2 hours here. So I'm going to end that with the intro right here, right now. Y'all have a blessed evening. Stay organically blunt. And thanks for shooting the shit for 2 hours with me about pretty much everything, but yet nothing. And we had a blast doing it. So we might try to do some more of these more often here and there. And we'll see if I get bored at night. But y'all have a good one. Thanks for coming and checking out Organically Blunt.
You've been listening to the Organically Blunt Show, a cannabis lifestyle podcast that's raw, uncut, and unedited. Thanks for listening to the show. We would like to give thanks to this episode's partners: Grow Strong Industries, the mother brand of Gorilla Grow Tint, Kind LED, and Lotus Nutrients. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Seedsman Seeds, a trusted seed bank with over 20 years in the industry. Use coupon code Organically Blunt 10. Horticulture Lighting Group, HLG, real efficiency, real yields, and made in the USA. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Rain Science Grow Bags, one-of-a-kind mesh grow bags that eliminate problems and increase yields. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Growth Bags, the best curing solution to save terps. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Captain Redbeard Seeds, genetics that are loyal to the soil. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Humboldt Seed Company, Humboldt's original seed. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Fishhead Farms, the maker of fish shit, the most robust beneficial bacteria on the market. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Sofim Genetics, quality genetics at a fair price. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Green Wolf Genetics. These genetics come from a wolf pack that runs with quality and no BS. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Utopic Essential Nutrients. Discover the truth. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Stream Gardening, world-leading mycorrhizal fungi. Dry Tents, because we all need a place to dry that harvest. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And in the meantime, follow us on Instagram at Organically Blunt or on Social Club at Organically Blunt. You can reach us also via email at organicallyblunt@gmail.com. Organically Blunt can be found where you listen to podcasts such as iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, Anchor.fm, and Apple Podcasts. See you next time on the Organically Blunt Show.